It's Reality Check with Craig Price.
I'm an idiot.
4 minutes in and I'm already wrong.
I'm like a monkey. Hello, look at me.
You're like a beautiful mind. I'm more like Forrest Gump.
So it's,
Craig Price is the man.
I knew it. Craig, shut up.
It's Reality Check with Craig Price. This week, Chernomazov and Ella Malamud are here to discuss their Kickstarter campaign for an interactive sustainability park. Welcome to the podcast. Hope you're well. Before we begin, I want to remind folks that if you like the show, let me know. You can leave a review on iTunes, or you can send me an email to craig@speakercraigprice.com, or even better, tell a friend and have them listen. This episode, I got to talk to Chernomazov and Ella Malamud, who are creating a sustainability park in Waterbury, Vermont, and it's called Greenspark. Everyone is trying to reduce their carbon footprint, and they're trying to create cleaner energy, just kind of look out for the planet wherever they can. Greenspark is their plan to get people to learn and hopefully adopt green technology by seeing it firsthand. They've started a Kickstarter to raise funds for a summer 2017 opening. You can find the link on realitycheckpodcast.com. And if you've ever been to Vermont, you know this is the perfect place for something just like this. So sit back, grab some Ben & Jerry's ice cream. I would suggest the brand new limited edition chocolate cherry Garcia. It's fantastic. Get out your solar power charger and learn about Greenspark, the interactive sustainability park, with Chernomazov and Ella Malamud. Sustainability means a lot of things to a lot of people because it's one of those words that is thrown around in business all the time, but I'm not quite sure the layman understands what sustainability is and how we can accomplish it. So with you working on this interactive sustainability park, what is your definition of sustainability and how can we as regular folks try to achieve that?
Well, sustainability in general, by definition, is using resources effectively and so that you can keep using them. And there are many different definitions of what it means to keep using them. For example, are they going to be there 7 generations later? Are they still going to be there during the next business year? That already is up for interpretation. But in general, the more efficient we are, the less we have to use of anything, the more use we can get out of it.
And you've decided, you guys have created this sustainability park in, of course, it's got to be in Vermont. This is kind of the situation where I'm from New Hampshire. I grew up there. I live in Texas now, where sustainability is an afterthought, where it's all gas and oil and fossil fuels and throw garbage out the window and we'll do whatever we can later. It's always past.
There are some gems around Texas as well, where there's plenty of sustainable things happening.
Oh, absolutely, but they're little pockets. I'm talking about in general. The perception down here is we'll worry about it later. Where Vermont and New Hampshire, Seattle, Washington, those kind of places are much more forward thinking. So, what is this park that you're creating, and where is it in Vermont?
It will be located, well, it is located in Waterbury, same town as Ben & Jerry ice cream, just to
put it on the map.
Just to put it on the map.
I've been to Waterbury. It's a very nice place.
Yes. It's kind of halfway from Waterbury Village going to Stowe. So that's near
Mount Mansfield.
Yep.
Okay. And why are we putting it there? Is that just because you happen to be in the area, or is this going to be a situation where this is a perfect place to create the park?
Both.
Yeah.
We do live not too far away, and the location was important because Route 100 is a major tourist road in Vermont.
And we're hoping to reach more people than just Vermonters.
Oh, absolutely.
We're hoping to reach all sorts of public traveling from Montreal and New York,
and Boston.
up and down, and Boston, basically.
And my guest today is Ella Malamud and Chernomazov. Did I get it?
Yep.
Oh, yes. I feel like I have won. I feel like no matter what happens after this, I have victory. You guys have worked really hard. Why do we need the park? Because it's one of those situations where it sounds like something that you would normally just put a web page on and do your business, but why do we need a physical park?
there is a lot of very interesting, exciting, advanced technologies in various aspects, whether it's transportation, building methods, or energy, which are currently available. Yet, so few people truly know about it outside of the professionals who already live and breathe those topics. So our idea was to make all those methods and technologies and products available in the interesting, interactive, hands-on manner, so that a person who's never been exposed to them could just walk up to them and push a button and or touch it and see it and understand the benefits of how it could make a difference in their daily life, as well as make a difference for the world.
Yeah. Save them some money, many of them as well.
Yeah.
And what kind of exhibits are you going to have? Because in my mind, and again, this is the layman, I'm thinking you have like a French fry oil car and maybe a house made out of used tires. So
they are not immune from the
From those influences, yes.
yes.
But we have, it's a lot more than that.
of course.
Yeah. So there will be 3 primary sections initially by the time they open, hopefully this summer. And later on, we will be adding additional sections. But initially, the first 3 that we are currently focusing on are renewable energy, sustainable transportation, and green building.
And what that entails is what, back to your question, is that green building would have a house, which is called an earth ship, which does, which big part of it is to use things that would otherwise end up in a dump, which includes those tires. But the main idea of the earth ship, and the reason it's called a ship, is that it incorporates all sorts of different other technologies, like reusing water 4 times within the household before it goes out, and reusing the energy of the sun to heat it, to make it an earth ship, which is where the idea comes from. But I guess it became popular with those tires that are a fixture of the earth ship. But in addition to those, we're going to also have other ways that we can use things that will not stay forever, like plastics that do not decompose ever. And the diapers that we use today will outlive us and many, many other generations. But hopefully we can build houses that will not outlive us, or parts of which will not outlive us, such as cordwood, straw bale, adobe, and many others.
Yeah.
And of course, those materials rely on specific areas of the country that you're in, because I don't know if an adobe house would work in Vermont.
It absolutely wouldn't, and yet it is. We are trying not to, like, it will be displayed with an appropriate text saying that yes, this method exists, but it's not applicable to this area. Just like not. Let me think of a good example.
We have many straw bales around here where our friends live in, and are very happy with them. But you probably wouldn't be building a straw bale house where you don't need such huge insulation.
Yep.
And I would imagine in Vermont, the rubber tires and things like that, the disposable diapers, that would be a perfect insulation for the cold.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
And straw bales, yeah.
Yeah, and also if some of those diapers have extra in them, that might even be extra insulation.
I don't know. The diapers, we probably would try to use the cloth ones to kind of eliminate the problem in the first place.
Going
Right.
back to Texas, at some point we were traveling through and we visited a place in Austin where we learned that people grow mushrooms, potentially edible mushrooms out of used diapers. You may not use those mushrooms to eat themselves, but
I think they were more using the mushrooms to clean it up. Basically, that there are mushrooms that will decompose the plastics of the diapers and get rid of them and put them back into the world, so that we don't actually have this plastic left over.
Because
sure, it was just about breaking them down. Now
Getting rid of them and having a growing environment.
living only a short way from Austin, I was thinking those mushrooms might be for recreational purposes.
No,
I don't know, but also Texas is pretty special also because of one building method which we're going to represent is papercrete in Martha.
no, that was in
Marfa,
Marathon.
yep. Marfa, yes, absolutely.
Right, it's near Martha, but I think it's in Marathon where they have papercrete castles and papercrete houses.
There is a
hostels.
papercrete bed and breakfast, so it's a combination of cellulose from paper and small percentage of cement, which produces lightweight or durable bricks. And if you paint them well enough, they are not even afraid of water.
And Texas is large enough and has a diverse geographic area where I know in West Texas they've got some windmills they're putting up there, and as well as solar panels because it's just out in the desert. It's empty space that they can't use to farm.
Yep.
And we will have a lot of exhibits that show you how to optimize that. For example, what you can do with your wind turbine to make it absolutely maximally efficient in your area and environment, as well as solar panels, as well as hydro if you have access to it.
Well, one of the things that they put in my neighborhood is a natural gas dispensary. It's like a gas pump, but it's just for a fleet of natural gas vehicles that they have because they're trying to lower the emissions and they're trying to make it a little cleaner. I know it's not optimal, but it is definitely a step forward.
Well, you could use your solar panels to compress some air and have your car run on just on compressed air. That's perfectly benign.
Oh,
Yep.
that was because that's a great segue into the transportation area because I wanted to talk about that. What kind of things have you seen lately that have been the new innovations in technology for transportation?
One vehicle that I'm really excited about, and I hear they're making good progress, is called an AirPod. And now that Apple released wireless headphones, so there seems to be an overlap with the name, but the idea of that vehicle is that it runs on compressed air. So you can pull up to a gas station, put a few coins into a pump, and the pump that was initially meant for pumping up tires can be used to fill in the tank. So you can leverage an existing air pump infrastructure. Or you can, those cars also have an onboard air compressor, so you can pull up to an outlet and use an external source of electricity to compress air into its onboard tank. And from reading the website a few weeks ago, the latest model that they're working on can travel for, I believe, 80 or 90 miles per charge.
I think they're already running about in Hawaii.
They were just working on the plant.
Okay. On the plant in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the other thing is a lot of the times sustainability is about jumping on board as early as you can, but sometimes it's not necessarily like 80 to 90 miles. That sounds great, but that's 45 miles each way. If you don't have a compressor along the way, it can seem like a short distance. So
every gas station has a compressor.
Not anymore. I can tell you this from experience, as someone who had to go travel to 8 different
gas stations to pump up your tires.
Yeah, I had a flat tire because it got a soft tire because the temperature changed. So it was really hot here in Houston for a long time. Then we had a cold front, and sometimes that'll cause a problem. And it took me forever to find a pump. A lot of them just don't have them anymore to some degree because I don't know what the issue is. But obviously, if these became more popular, they would reinstall them.
Yep. One solution to this problem, and now I'm hopping to a different exhibit, is to incorporate an energy source to be a part of your vehicle. So one of the exhibits that we are going to showcase is a solar human hybrid tricycle that has a full body without size. There are no doors, but there is a windshield and a roof, and the roof is made of a flexible solar panel. So on the full charge, you can go for about 20 or so miles. And let's say you get to work in the morning. By the time you are done at 5 o'clock, the solar panel in the roof has already recharged your batteries, so you can go back home. And it's up to you how hard you want to pedal or how little, or how much you can use a throttle and say, I'm not going to pedal at all, I'll just ride on the electric motor, or I'll just pedal as much as possible and just use power to go uphill. So it's this vehicle is currently being mass produced in North Carolina, called Organic Transit.
Now, have you found that convincing people to start the switch, I think, is the hardest part? Have you found ways to teach people not only the importance, but how they can do it easier? Because I think all these ideas would be great if people actually adopt them.
Well, actually, it's having this, ever since we got it, it's called an ELF by Organic Transit, this commuter to go to work. Again, it helps if you work within 20-mile radius. Or if you're willing to pedal 5 of those miles, you could make it 25 miles.
Or you can get it, or there is enough room for a second battery for that matter.
Okay, I guess you could increase the range. But you need to, it helps if you work within the range that this vehicle can travel. And we actually had so much interest. A lot of people are stopping by to ask us about this, the ELF by Organic Transit. We had basically every single day somebody knocks on our door and asks us, what is that?
I ended up putting a little plastic pocket on the side of it with
some brochures, so the people could just get it without having to knock on the door.
How does that work in the wintertime?
There is actually ways to weatherize it if you want to, but on our Vermont roads with the snow, it's not quite.
Yeah, we chose not to ride it in the winter because of the salt primarily.
Yeah.
But I have read on there is a Facebook group dedicated to that, so that people have built custom side enclosures. They are aftermarket items, and you can put studded tires, and I remember reading a post that somebody even took a little portable heater with them to place it inside a cabin. So people do that with enough dedication.
Well, one thing I know growing up in New Hampshire and also having family who grew up in Vermont is New Englanders are a hardy bunch, and they will find ways to adapt, putting spikes on their walkers. I know a lady, she used to put little tennis balls at the bottom of her walker for one thing, but then she put nails on them so they'd grip into the ice and walk across. So getting studded tires for anything, be it a wheelchair, a unicycle, whatever, I wouldn't put it past anyone in New England to weatherize any vehicle you give them. They're very innovative and hardy folk.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was New England, but definitely someplace north.
Yeah. So explain the park. As far as is there a certain flow to it? Is there like classrooms as well, or is it just outdoors where you just go from exhibit to exhibit?
Think of it in a way, how would you imagine a museum flow to be, or like a tourist destination?
Like an outdoor park where you will be able to walk from exhibit to exhibit, and there will be regular tours that you can join if you want a little bit extra explanation of how those things are applicable.
Yeah.
And
certain exhibits will operate only at the certain pre-scheduled times. Mainly because they take some special attention to be operated. Yeah, so you come in, you park your car, you go through a small visitor center, and then you're in a park. We're gonna have trails and some fruit trees, so there will be some elements of the botanical garden as well, so it will be a pleasant place to be in general. We have a view of Vermont's Camelback Mountain and the Mansfield Mountain from one of the spots in the park, so that we're hoping to put a few benches there to just sit back and enjoy the scenery.
Well, having been to Waterbury and also seeing Robert Bradford's Instagram, you can definitely see Camelback Mountain every third photo of his. It's a beautiful area. So you've got a Kickstarter. Explain the Kickstarter and what you're trying to accomplish and when the park opens.
So this far, we have made we've been working on this project for close to 2 years. We already acquired property, we got all the permits, and we got a number of exhibits. At this point, to move forward, we have two options. We can try to open up in the much smaller format, which is a little bigger than what it is right now, or if the Kickstarter fundraiser will be successful, we'll be able to acquire and build a lot more exhibits.
Basically, all the exhibits that we have planned, we have a humongous list of things that we think that people would find interesting, useful, and applicable today, and that generally people don't know about, and we would love to share it all.
So,
and the Kickstarter will make it possible.
So share the Kickstarter. Where can they find that? Because not everyone is familiar with Kickstarter as far as actually donating.
Yeah.
So the website link towards the Kickstarter, it's a platform where you can get different things and read more all about it, will be on our website.
Yeah, we definitely will have a link to the Kickstarter campaign posted on our website, which is greensparkvt.com.
And the way Kickstarter works is that you get different perks and gifts and recognition and attention for helping this project along. And there will be different types of rewards, such as a shotgun, where you will be able to actually get a tour on one of the alternative vehicles, like a wood gasifier or basically whatever strikes your fancy. Or the first mass-produced electric car that ever built.
Yeah, there will be rewards such as a tour that will be led by us, like a really advanced, in-depth technical tour where we would not only like a lot more
with a lot more detail than what a general tour would entail. Also, we will have a wall of fame and recognition for people who just want to move this project along because they believe in the idea and the cause, with their names on them.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's an important thing you're doing. There's so many uses that we need to take care of. We have to get off of fossil fuels. We've got to take care of the world that we live in because it's the only one we've got. So I really appreciate what you're doing. If you go to greensparkvt.com, that's where your website is, correct?
Yes, it is correct.
And there you can find all about the park. When does the park open?
We are hoping to open this summer.
Yeah, end of June, beginning of July, and it'll depend on the Kickstarter. Basically, we need help right now where we need more funds to keep building, to keep working on this.
In some way, if the Kickstarter will be successful, we may end up slightly delaying the opening just because now all of a sudden we will have an opportunity to open it as on a bigger scale.
Right, so the Kickstarter will determine exactly the opening, but it should be early to midsummer.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, Alex, Ella, I really appreciate what you guys are doing. I mean, Vermont's the perfect place for it because if you've ever been to Vermont in the summertime, it is absolutely beautiful, and it just shows you why you need to preserve the world because Vermont in its natural state is exactly what you want to be in. So thank you for all the hard work that you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's the show. Thanks to Alex and Ella for their time, and good luck with the Kickstarter. Don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter at realitycheckpodcast.com, follow on Twitter at realitycheckpod, and of course, like the Facebook page. Any comments, questions, or guest suggestions can go to Craig at speakercraigprice.com. See you next week.